Hi there, it's been a while since we've gotten together, but I've got a couple of different lean initiatives that took place, and I want to show this to you now. Let's take a look. One of the things we did a couple of months ago actually involved our industrial shredder here. These are the bags for it. For a long time we just simply threw this paper, this shredded paper, into the trash, unless someone had a declawed kitty and needed something to use for litter boxes. And it was kind of a waste. Well, now that we've gotten into doing a lot of recycling here, I asked if I could go ahead and put that in the mixed paper out in the plant. And then I started doing that for a while, and it got to be a pain taking those out there every day. So Daphne came up with, why not bring a Gaylord right in here with us? So now we fill this thing up, tamp it down, a dozen times or so, and it gets picked up by Tim Berkman. So shout out to Daphne for coming up with an idea to put this thing in here, and it has made this super convenient as well as cost saving. These boxes of bags, you usually pay about $70 some per box. We would go through about a box every month and a half, every 2 months. So it wasn't an enormous savings, but still a decent savings. I've yet to go through a bag in 2 months. We just keep recycling the same bags over and over. This has been great. Now, what I want to talk about for the current, or most current lean activity, is about process work instructions or standard operating procedures, various things that we use here at the MK Morse Company, as well as companies all over the place, to really put down for everyone to see in case you have a backup or you're off or someone else takes over the position. Someone can see written out point by point by point what are the instructions to doing the job. It doesn't mean you're going to do it perfectly, but it certainly gives you a great starting point. And on some of the more technical things, it is a step-by-step procedure. Well, we have process work instructions here in the literature department or the premiums department or the mailroom. In fact, we have little places in our folder for all of those. If you know what I'm talking about, then you've seen binders. And the binders look something like this. Now, this is a mock-up I did, as I no longer have the original binder, thanks to our lean initiative I took here. But what this is are pages that we put in plastic sheet protectors, point by point by point, how to do the various duties. For instance, this one is processing literature orders. You'll see a small screenshot from the AS400. Again, we're still on the same thing. This is all some of the procedure for taking an order that you get and following it all the way through until it's ready to leave the company and go out to a customer. We have them for all sorts of things, the mailing machine, you name it. It is in one of these binders. Now, these binders need adjustments now and then whenever there's a change in a process. Well, we recently made a couple of changes in one of our processes, and so I needed to let Kim in the records department, Kim East, know, hey, we've got a couple changes here. She had actually sent wondering if there was anything new on that. Made the changes, she corrected them. Now, here's the funny thing. We had talked, again, a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I got to thinking, why in the world do we have all these binders? Why do I want a binder in a drawer that someone has to pick up and go through and see what they need for that particular day? Why not have it be something really simple, something electronic, as opposed to having a binder? So we take a look here at my computer screen. This is my alpha male cat, Samwise. He likes to sleep all curled up. We call him a bandicoot. But look over here. We have ourselves this approved. And it's kind of hard to read on a little screen there, but trust me, it's there. Approved version. My little shortcut. And it takes me here to the various files that I would use. Same files that were in one of those packets, one of those binders. Look at this. Point by point, it's right there on the screen. You can go back and go to something else if you want. You can print this up if you need to. These things are great. Boy, birds, I mean, there's no end to this stuff. One of the neatest things, I think, is the fact that we have this little thing here. It's hard to read there. This is obsolete. There were 3 different things that were done back here that are currently, we don't do them anymore. So if someone wondered about one of these things, well, what do we still do this? Go in there and you can see it's obsolete in there. This is This has been a real savings of time as well as space. And I want to talk about the space of this for a second. So now, being the dork that I basically am, you can just ask my wife, I decided, how much space are we taking up? How much are we really saving? In a very physical, literal sense, as opposed to, just the ethereal of, well, we're saving this, and we're saving. No, let's actually look at what we're doing. So, over here at my mailing machine, you can't see it because you're watching me. I'm getting it ready to roll here. Okay, we're going to weigh the binder. So I've set the binder on my scale. Over the mailing machine we go. And it weighs 1 pound, 5.3 ounces. So, 1 pound, 5.3 ounces. How much do the electronic files weigh? Well, when we start dealing with electronic files, we're dealing with electrons, which are part of an atom. And we're talking about the electrons that, jump out of their valences and make their way down the little conduit. Essentially, what it comes down to is this is somewhere in the range, each one of my little files on there is somewhat in the range of 50 kilobytes or 409,600 bits. It amounts to about 8 billion electrons. That's for each one of those little files, like 5 or 6 of those. So, it's a lot, right? No, not really. So the weight of one of those little files is about 2/10,000ths of a quadrillionth of an ounce. Not a whole lot of space taken up. Now I know you measure things differently inside of a computer, but hey, tough. So, what have we learned here today? Well, we've learned that you can take something physical, make it electronic, make it available much faster, much easier, with a whole lot less work, less cost. It looks better, frankly, and you can still print up a version if you wanted to. Great idea. So Kim and I and everyone else who needs to do this or has already done this, great job. This is really a big help. As far as the shred goes, there again, not a very large thing was done. It was a large bin, but not a very large thing was done, and it has been fantastic. You fill your bag up, you take the bag off, you drop the shred in there, put the bag back on the machine. Money saved, time saved, and we're even getting money for the recycling from the recycler down the road. So that's all pretty cool. And I just want to leave, you think about all these different things you do. A lot of times with Lean, we're trying to think of these huge projects. Oh, what could we put together? It's going to take, it'll take weeks. And how are we're going to get all the right tools and equipment that we need to do this? No, Lean is simple and easy. It can be done anytime. It doesn't take a whole lot. There are big projects, sure. But oftentimes it's just the small step. The Chinese proverb that says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with your car broken down on the side of the road. Okay, maybe not, but that you get the gist.